Good evening, everyone. This is Karon, your women's empowerment speaker. I am so excited to bring this announcement to you tonight. On March 7th, Thursday, this coming Thursday at 7 p.m., I am going live on Tea Time with Bunky. I am so absolutely excited. So join me this Thursday, March 7th at 7 p.m. while I go live with Tea Time with Bunky. I'll see you guys there.
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is Message. Hi, Dan. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is super recent. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really did. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Like the message said, I missed you guys. I always miss you guys. Welcome to my new followers. And if you just following, haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. To my followers and subscribers that have been there through the long haul, thank you for all of your support. I appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you know. This show with the Affirmation Whisper tonight can be aired. You can listen to this next Thursday. I'm trying to get this together. Next Thursday at 8 a.m. on Zeno FM on the following radio stations: Culture Shock, Radio Rockbox, Radio Facetto, WAP the Music. Culture Shock is in Canada. WAP the Music is in Guadalupe, the Caribbean island. Guadalupe, not Guadalupe, Guadalupe. And Radio Facetto is in New Mexico, Mexico. And then on Sundays at 12 p.m., you can catch it on Confidence Radio. These are all powered by Zeno FM with additional online radio supports by online radio box, online music box. You can also catch it on your favorite podcast platforms. Remember, you guys, November 5th, elections. Oh my God. I haven't had any political Tuesdays because y'all know it stresses me all the way out. But no, as everybody knows, the two running people, same people, is like a repeat. Listen, y'all get yourself together. If you are not registered to vote, make sure you get out there and register to vote, because this is critical. This is crazy. This is nonsense. Make sure you go out there and know your candidates for your local town, state. Remember, they affect you more. They affect you more. Presidential, yes, it affects you. But the ones close in your counties, in your town, know who's running, know their names, know what they're about. Don't just listen to someone telling you to vote for them, because that is not what we do. So get out there, start knowing your candidates, register to vote while you have time. My guest tonight, Miss Karon Fayerweather. I hope I got that right, because she said I didn't. But let me tell you a little bit about her. She is also known as the Affirmation Whisperer, offering her practices to others as a powerful tool for fostering a mindset of empowerment and self-belief. We all need this. Everybody talk about affirmations, but all of us don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, and she's going to help me tonight. And this enables individuals to unlock their potential and pave the way for their own greatness. Having personally navigated the challenging journey of healing from abuse and abandonment, Karon has discovered the transformative power of affirmations. Through a dedicated practice of affirmations alongside meditation and prayer, Karon has learned to love and trust herself anew. This process involves shedding negative beliefs and emotions that once acted as barriers, thereby allowing her to fully embrace her worth and acknowledge her right to love and happiness. Karon's spiritual practice has guided her away from being defined by past traumas, focusing instead on the present and future. This shift represents a break from the constraints of past and reclaiming a personal power. Karon takes pride in the distance she's come on this journey, aware that the path of growth and healing continues. Committed to creating a life filled with joy and fulfillment, Karon stands as a testament to the belief that everyone is deserving of such a life. So without further ado, Miss Karon, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
coming on. How are you today?
I am great. You did a beautiful job with my name.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Rashida, I'm just calling out the people that's on Rashida podcast. Next episode, Peaches and Blade. Next show, Rec Boys Rod and Shot, one of the networks. I'm a part of VGN, the Global Network. Just want to get that out there. So tell everybody a little bit about you before we dive into this conversation.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Karon Fayerweather, and Bunky did a beautiful job with my name. I am the Women's Empowerment Speaker, as well as my branding is the Affirmation Whisperer. With the Affirmation Whisperer branding, what I do is create personalized, customized affirmations for individuals who are starting out on their journey, brand new, or someone who's been doing them and they just want some different affirmations to help them along their journey. I am a mom. I'm a mom of 6. Half of them, not all from my womb, but I call them my children. The 2 that are from my womb, they are my daughter. I have a daughter and a son, but I do have other sons that are not from my womb that I love just the same. I work full time. I am a business owner, entrepreneur as well. With my women's empowerment speaking and my products for Affirmation Whisper, they all keep me very busy. But let me tell y'all, it was a journey getting to where I am of loving myself as I do and believing in myself as I do.
Now, you talked about the journey. You
Yes.
just mentioned it, which is a great segue to my first question. When we had our first conversation, you talked about the significance of 2015. So could you tell us a little bit of what happened before that and then the power of that year? Like what led up to the change? I call it the change.
I like how you call it the change. So I went through several years of lots of trauma, various kinds of trauma. My husband and I had not gotten to a point of knowing ourselves enough to be able to know each other and to come together into a marriage, a partnership that served both of us well as our children. We made 2 attempts at being husband and wife, but he having his own healing journey, me being naive and my own healing journey, there was lots of traumas that happened within that relationship. So going through those traumas, I lost a lot of me. I experienced a traumatic event when I was about 5 years old, being molested. You can imagine what the impact was on me. So I started my journey of traumas, if you will, at the age of 5, around 4 or 5.
Sorry for that.
And thank you for the acknowledgement. But well, I'll get into that part in a moment. Having experienced that, you can imagine my confidence was shattered. My self-esteem was shattered. My childhood was shattered. And, when you're a little girl and someone does something they're not supposed to do, you would think that they get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
From my eyes at that age, it did not seem like the perpetrator got in trouble. So I felt like, okay, that happened to me, but it wasn't important because no one got in trouble. So
Did anyone know? Anyone know?
Yeah, I told. Yeah, I told immediately. And being a 4 or 5 year old, when people do something wrong, you're accustomed to getting a spanking or getting busted. I didn't see any of that. So at that point, in my eyes, I created the world that I didn't matter because no one punished the abuser in my eyes. I found out later, much later, that there was some retribution on his part, but at that time, to me, nothing happened. So you can imagine coming from a child's perspective,
right?
You don't see anything happening, so you think, well, what did I do wrong?
Right.
What did I do wrong? So you can imagine growing up as a teenager, feeling less than, having no confidence whatsoever, becoming a young adult, having children, getting married, but none of the healing that I needed to experience from that trauma happened. None
Right.
of it. So I went through my adult life carrying that trauma with me,
Mhm.
and then piling on other traumas from the failed marriages, from the physical abuse, from the emotional abuse, from the verbal abuse. All that just piled on top of the already traumatic foundation that I had. So getting to going through going through those traumas, I was standing in my window one day, and I was already on the road to recovering from those traumas, but I didn't really realize it until that day, Bunky. I said to myself, standing in my bedroom window, I was looking out the window and just kind of contemplating life. And I said to myself, there's got to be more. There's got to be more, because right now it doesn't seem like I'm going anywhere. It seems like I'm telling the same story over and over and over again, but my life is not going anywhere. And there began my true transformation. That was back in 2015.
That's when 2015 happened.
Mhm.
Rashida had made a comment, like there'd be a couple times we were going to do the questions in between,
Mhm.
but she made a comment that's really is so true. It says, trauma is not discussed enough, especially in Black homes. She
Absolutely.
applauded you for your vulnerability, because we don't tell. It's like you don't tell the family business.
Exactly. That's a powerful statement that she made, and it's absolutely true, which was part of my story. You don't talk about what happened in the family. You keep it
Right.
inside the family. You don't talk about it. You just be that strong Black woman and get through it, right?
Strong. Oh my God. Like, what is strong? Like what is strong? This is
Ooh,
strong.
it's an illusion.
Yeah.
It's an illusion. Being that strong Black woman is an illusion, because what we've witnessed our mother, our grandmother, our aunts endure,
Right.
that may have equaled a strong Black woman to us, but it more so equals suffering than it did anything else. So that's why I say being a strong Black woman is an illusion.
It is an illusion. It is. It's especially if you're broken. You were already broken from the age of 5.
Exactly.
You were broken.
Exactly.
Now you have a book, The Power of Positive Self-Talk Affirmation for Children.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, I do.
Talk about that a little bit.
Ooh, I was mentioning that this morning in our clubhouse room that you're familiar with, Bunky.
Yeah, look, and Shirley's on right now. She just popped up. Right?
The Mosaic Nation of Co-Elevators, we were talking about that this morning, about sipping the tea, just taking small steps, small sips at a time. And I mentioned that this time last year, I did not imagine that I would have my second book out, but my first book is The Power of Positive Talk Children's Affirmation book, because I suffered those traumas as a child. I thought back, I say, how many other children are not being poured into to make them feel good about themselves?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Bunky, but in my household, they were too busy trying to pay the bills.
Let me tell you, I didn't realize how broken I was. That's how broken I was.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't realize I was as broken.
Yeah. Yeah. So with me having experienced what I experienced, not knowing my value, not knowing that I was smart, that I am smart, not knowing that I was intelligent, how many other children are experiencing the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the birth of my children's affirmation book. It truly is an activity between parents and children. It's not just a book for you to put in the child's hand and say, here, go read this. No, it's not that. It's a book between parents and children to first familiarize parents with what affirmations are, and then for parents to bring the children into the practice, and they do it together. So it's a beautiful
the parents
book.
Should know it. So parents should feel comfortable in affirmations.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, because you can't teach what you don't know.
You sure
cannot
can't
teach what you don't know. So the beginning of the book really is about parents becoming very familiar with the practice of affirmations. And then once they become familiar with it, who knows their child better than their parent?
Right. Right.
So with the parent knowing their child and now having an understanding of affirmations, they then can start the practice of pouring that into the child's life.
And that starts off as a young child. It's like I'm seeing it now. You know, you see it on television, you see it in books, you see it on Facebook, little things with the I am beautiful, I am smart, you know, things like I didn't get it on The Color Purple. When you know that when she was saying the affirmations, you are beautiful, you are intelligent, you know, the things that she was saying, the original Color Purple. To me, to look into a mirror and say these things,
Yes.
extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important for us to do it, because it's so uncomfortable for us to look in a mirror and tell ourselves how beautiful we are, how sexy we are, how intelligent we are, how absolutely engaging we are. All those beautiful words that we hear other people say, or we say them to others,
right?
But we don't say them to ourselves,
right?
That's why it's so uncomfortable to look yourself in the eye in the mirror without judgment. You're not looking at yourself to say, "Oh, look at those pimples. Oh, look at those wrinkles." No. We're looking at our eyes. Exactly. Exactly. We're looking in the mirror in our eyes only, directly, and speaking those words of affirmation to ourselves. Now, one might say, "Well, I'm just lying to myself." Are you really? Are you really saying that you're not beautiful? Now, yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but if I see myself in the mirror, am I really going to say that I'm ugly? Well, if you say that you're ugly, I need for you to book an appointment with me so that we can talk. So that we can talk, because every woman should be saying to themselves, and not only saying it, but see that they are beautiful. And if you're uncomfortable with that, let me invite you to get in that mirror and start telling yourself just how beautiful, how intelligent, how engaging, how sexy, how all those things that you are, and believe what you say.
You know, this alone is giving me anxiety.
I just so
Oh my God. Like,
absolutely, but because you feel so uncomfortable with it, Bunky,
yeah.
I am the
Look,
first.
I want to cry. I wasn't ready for this. I was not ready for this. I should have known, because dealing with you ladies, you mosaic, you ladies mess me up. Oh.
Listen, Bunky, you deserve to feel good about yourself no matter what is going on. And that's what I had to recover from.
Okay.
I didn't see my beauty. I didn't see my intelligence. I didn't see my grace. I didn't see my sexiness. I didn't see any of that because of the traumas that I experienced. I was never told, "Oh, you're so intelligent. Oh my gosh, you're brilliant." Never told that when I was growing up. But understanding the necessity of hearing that, I can see it in your face as I continue to talk. It's so important for us to hear these words. And you know what? As we're making these statements of affirmation to ourselves, when we hear our own voice say them, it is so powerful for your subconscious to hear you say that about yourself. And yeah, you may not believe it the first time, the first day. You may not believe it by the third day, but by the fifth day, you're going to start like, okay, wait a minute, maybe I am. Because it takes practice, right? And no matter what it is we're developing a muscle memory for, it takes practice. So the more that you sit in that mirror, and mirror work is not easy. So maybe you want to start just sitting in a quiet place with maybe some nice music playing and say it then. But at some point, Bunky, we all have to get in. I'm not just picking on you. We all.
No, I know. Look, I'm in front of you. Go ahead. That's what I'm here for.
As long as I've been doing it, there's still some times that I'm uncomfortable with looking in the mirror. And that's when I know I need to look in the mirror, because I'm uncomfortable with it. Something has happened to chip away at my confidence, So I need to stay in that mirror and stay with myself. Shirley, Shirley shares with us often how she'll walk by the mirror and say, "Damn, I'm sexy." And that's what I'm talking about.
That's Shirley. And she blows my mind because I look at her and because I've known Shirley for over 34 years, I just hope, can a little bit of that, just a little bit of that confidence rub off on me, please. You got to do the work, right?
You got to do the work. If there's no rubbing off on you, you have to do the work. There's none of the by osmosis. It just doesn't happen. And listen, I can see the anxiety coming over you. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Listen, the work it's long. It's a long journey, because I don't want anyone to think that I got where I am overnight, because I did not. I told you the journey actually started before 2015. That's why I asked myself that question, because I had already started to do the work. But as of 2015 up until now, 2024, I've been continuing to do the work, because the more you do the work, the more you're going to unearth something else that you need to work on.
Yes, you do. And you know what you said to me when we were first talking, that made me think of 2015. And I wrote it down, because you said you were looking out the window or whatever, 2015. And you said you realize that there is no me. Look, I'm ready to cry again. I'm like, because how many of us feel that way?
Right.
I mean, we could put on the front, you could wear a good mask.
Absolutely. We can.
But you can't run from yourself.
You cannot.
You're always there.
You are.
So that was when you said that to yourself, when you finally acknowledged that, what did that feel like to you?
Oh, I was honest. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I didn't even know who I was. I really was. Because I'm thinking, wait a minute, I guess I was about 40, late 40s then.
Okay.
I was a bit embarrassed, but I also felt a level of freedom, because I'm like, okay, I'm recognizing it, because I'm ready to do something about it.
Right.
When we're ready to deal with something, the vision becomes a lot clearer. We take them rose-colored glasses off and see things as they truly are. Yes. And by me recognizing that, well, who am I? My oldest is off to college. Out of college, actually. And my youngest is off to college. So here I am by myself. And being by yourself, having to face yourself, that's some awakening right there, right? I mean, literally having to face myself. Nobody's voice is in the house but mine. So I could not distract myself with children or anything else. So it was a beautiful time for me to take ownership of my life. It really was.
And for people that they have little kids like mine, I think that's when I started to realize that there was no me. When my youngest was starting, when he was leaving for college, because he did 2 years local. Then when he was leaving, I'm like, wait a minute, it's just me, like young mom. So I was always near. I always had somebody there was always somebody. I always had a distraction.
A distraction, exactly.
And this distraction was gone.
Yep.
And it's just me. So it's like,
yes.
Do I even like this person? Like,
yes.
Absolutely.
Like
you have no identity. So, wow, that's crazy. But amazing. You just released a book.
Yes.
You just released Life Rediscovered.
Yeah.
Your 90-day personal transformation journal. Now tell us about that. That alone,
this is it right here.
Stress. The cover is gorgeous. That golden, oh my goodness.
This is the book itself. This is a 90-day self-rediscovery journal. Now, ladies, everybody, don't think this is just your everyday journal, because it is not. This is a journal that's packed. You see how thick this journal is? It is packed with all kinds of activities for you to do in here to help you rediscover who you are. A lot that's in this book, I used it myself in rediscovering who I am. Not who I was, who I am, because who I was no longer exists.
Right.
I use it to rediscover who I am. And there are layers to rediscovering who you are, Bunky. And this book, I just released this book on Saturday, had a beautiful book launch party on Saturday, having a master class coming up on March 16th that people can go to my website and sign up for. Order this journal as well so they can have it for the master class.
The affirmationwhisperer.com, that's where they go to sign
Yes,
up?
they can go right there. Mhm.
Okay.
They can go there to register for it. I'll put the link in our chat for the registration for the master class, but they can go to that page there to order the journal.
Okay.
But this Life Rediscovered, your 90-day personal transformational journey, is absolutely one of the tools you can put in your toolkit for you as you continue on the journey of rediscovering who you are. And I keep saying rediscovering because, as you just said, with the children, with the husband, with the job, with the church, with everything else that we have in our lives, especially when our children are younger,
Right.
Who are we? So I'm not going back to who I was. I'm rediscovering who I am today and building on that and just continuing to rediscover, because at every stage of life, we're different. And you want to know who that is.
That is true. And that goes with marriages too. People that marry young or whatever, they get married. Their partner isn't who they married when they initially married them.
Exactly.
They aren't, they change, they grow at different stages. And so you have to, I'm learning, be secure in yourself. I am taking tiny little baby steps, but I'm working on getting out of my comfort zone.
Wonderful.
It is so hard.
Let me offer you a different word,
Okay.
Besides hard. It's different.
It's okay. It is okay. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different. I'm sure Shirley probably spoke about it when she came to one of y'all classes, one of your group days, when we talked about the salt room. I got to go to the salt room. We went to the salt room, which for people that don't know, some people call it the salt cave. It's Himalayan salt. The floor is like sand, but it's not sand. It's Himalayan salt, and it's good for holotherapy. It's amazing. I didn't know Shirley was claustrophobic until she wrote that.
Ooh.
I didn't know it. I'm also claustrophobic, but I couldn't show her that I was afraid. Let's do something new. Let's go out of the comfort zone. And we both, I guess, and I didn't know it. So I'm so thankful for her. She came out of her comfort zone with me. The old Bunky would have never done anything like that.
Wonderful.
Not done anything like that. You also do well, I saw on there for the men, it's affirmations aren't just for women, it's for men.
It's for everybody. It's for everybody. Men, women, children, everybody.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite affirmations, if you can share them? Can you share your affirmations?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Okay. I can. There's one I keep on my wall here, and this is more of a mantra statement than anything else. It reads, right where I am, God is, and I have everything I need.
That is a whole fact. That is all that. Yeah.
Right where I am, God is, and I have everything I need. That's a mantra affirmation that I state, especially when I get nervous or I get overwhelmed with life. I just slow down. I take a breath and I say to myself, right where I am, God is, and I have everything I need. Another affirmation, I say that I am enough just as I am. I am approved. I am accepted. I don't need to make any changes to who I am. What's another affirmation that I use quite frequently? I wish I had my little sheet open because I got so many that go through my mind. But the affirmations that I've used over the years have been such an encouragement to me. The one that I like to give beginners is affirmations that simply get them on a journey of talking well about themselves. Anyone that comes to my affirmation room in Clubhouse knows that one of my phrases are talk nicely to yourself. Yeah, let's talk nicely to ourselves.
Okay.
So
So let me ask you that.
uh-huh.
You said talk nicely to yourself. Now, if you have someone who hasn't yet gotten to the part or point in their life where they're ready to make a change or realize that they need to make a change because they've been beaten down so much. I mean, never heard anything good about themselves. It was always negative. How can you get someone like that to say something kind about themselves?
I can give them an affirmation to say, Bunky, but honestly, if they're not ready, the affirmations aren't going to do anything for them.
Right. So they're just saying words. You have to believe it in your spirit.
You have to be ready, because even when you're ready, you don't necessarily believe it. It takes time to get that muscle massaged to the point that you do believe what you're saying. Being ready, I'm opening up to what I'm saying. I am open to the possibilities of what I can do for me.
Okay.
But if I'm shut down and closed, I'm not going to be open to anything. So my thing would be to say to them is to ask themselves, why aren't you ready? Why aren't you ready to make a change in your life? Because clearly you recognize there's something that you need to correct.
Right.
But why would you let that go on knowing you need to do something? And I know the answer is it's fear.
It's fear.
It's fear, because changing means to admit that something about me is not quite right. But does that invalidate you? It absolutely does not. If anything, it strengthens you because you're admitting to yourself. I know it did for me, admitting to myself that, you know what? There's got to be more to life. Who am I? So by asking myself those questions, I was open to it. So if someone did come to me and they're not ready, we would have that discussion about them not being ready before we get to affirmations.
Okay. And that goes into the next question. Flows perfectly. What is a significant change since all this has started? A significant change that you've seen in yourself?
Ooh,
is there a significant change?
There are a few. The biggest one for me is learning to speak up for myself. Learning to speak up for myself, because I was a yes girl.
Okay.
I truly was a yes girl. Whatever you said, okay. You know why? Because I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to be confrontational about anything. Okay. All right. Whatever you say. So my being able to speak for myself and say no. The first time I said no to somebody, I was so scared. I was so scared. But in seeing that, oh, I can say no.
Right.
Talk about empowerment. I was saying no all over the place. No.
I can relate to that. That I can relate to, because I was a yes person. Everything was yes, yes. And once I started saying no, now I have people looking at me like I have two heads. You know, like, wait a minute. Why is she telling me no? Why is she going against the grain? Why is she not going? Why is she not falling into line as she always had? You know, so that's a big thing that you said right there.
Being able, I found my voice. I found my voice to speak my mind. And in finding my voice, I started to find out even more about myself. I like hearing my voice. I like being able to say no. I like being able to say yes. And that's been a big thing for me, because when opportunities present, there was a time that I was so scared. I'm like, oh, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? But saying yes has gotten me to right where I am today in front of you. saying yes.
Thank you for saying yes. I need this conversation more than I realized. You have, I know that sounds crazy, but it's
No,
like,
not at all. Not at all.
yeah, God puts things in place when they're supposed to.
Mhm.
You also have, I don't know if this was a book or what is this? Personalized affirmations, the key to unlocking your potential. They can register that, contact you for that. So is that what we were talking about?
Yes. So on my website, you can book a consultation with me.
Okay.
Where in that booking, there's a whole form that you complete that have questions in it about why you want affirmations, what's your greatest challenge, things of that nature. And with those questions, after booking the consultation with me, I study those questions
Okay.
to prepare for our one-on-one. So we have a time that we talk. I ask you more questions about your answers to my questions. Usually about an hour session, 30 to 45-minute session over Zoom, where we talk about your answers. And I can tell you that part for people tends to be a little uncomfortable because I'm
Uncomfortable.
a little uncomfortable because they're not hiding behind a piece of paper. They've got to justify their answers for me. I can tell when there's just a fluff answer and when there's a deep-seated answer. I can absolutely tell the difference. And I'm going to dig into that, especially when I feel like you've given me a fluff answer. So after I've had that interview with you, I meditate, I write, and I formulate your personalized affirmations. That I have them in, I think it's 7, 10, or 12, something like that. I don't remember the number that you can get. But yeah, personalized custom affirmations. These are not something that you pulled off the internet. My affirmations, you're not going to find them anywhere. I promise you that. I love it. Yes, book a session with me.
I'm like, I got a headache. Give me a headache. Like, oh my God. Because for them, when you have people filling out paperwork before the session, and you can tell if they're fluffy, let me just answer these. I can only imagine looking at the paper. I don't even know if I'll be able to do it because I came to one of you guys' Clubhouse sessions during COVID. I came to one.
Yeah.
And they were doing something. They gave you words or something. You had to speak positively about yourself, right? That was when I said I have to go. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, this is too. I was like, these affirmations are too much. And the thing about it is, you ladies, at the time there wasn't any gentleman, and Shirley said there's a gentleman that's in your group now.
Yes.
But you spoke so confidently, so secure in who you were, and you guys still do, that you say I have to use better word. I have to use better words, but I'm going to use this word because this is how I right. It's intimidating. It is, but in all actuality, you guys are just secure and positive in who you are. And if you're not, you're saying it until it is true. But an outsider coming in, no, it's like, okay, hopefully you can understand this. I'm going to go Pentecostal on you because I'm Pentecostal. I'm going to go Pentecostal on you. It's like walking into a Holy Ghost filled session. I mean, you walking in and it's already in and taking over, right? Not comparing this to the Lord in no way, but
no, I hear you. I hear you.
It made me feel like I'm walking in and like the Spirit is everywhere, and you're just like, I gotta go. Like that was how it was. I was like, I gotta go. I can't do this.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
What you feel is real, but not every time we speak are we as confident as you think we might be. In that space, we are very comfortable with each other.
Yes.
We do stand and walk in our power in that room, but we're also vulnerable in that room. And that's what people are uncomfortable with, is being vulnerable in front of other people. So when you come into the room and you've heard these powerful women speaking, and we're absolutely powerful, but we're also vulnerable. We also recognize where we need to do some work. But in our ownership of what we are, we stand powerful in that, even in our stuff that we know we still got to work on. And I promise you, anyone listening, if you do the work, you'll get there. And see, the work is what causes the most discomfort, because we've got to face ourselves.
Right.
We've got to admit to ourselves that we might have been acting the act, but that's all it was an act. When we face ourselves, we have to admit that, you know what, I've been faking the funk for a long time. And some of us do it really well, right? Because I know I did.
Yeah.
Listen, talk about mimicking somebody. Got it. You would think that I had been doing it for years, but I had not, because I was just faking what I saw. I was mimicking, recreating what I thought to be what I wanted to be.
Okay.
It wasn't me. It was what I thought I wanted to be by being like somebody else. But once I got to the point of realizing that ain't me, but who am I? It's that kind of work that people run from, because that's that revealing work that said, ooh, what have I been doing all this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
That hits the nail on the head. It really does. I didn't start changing. I didn't start obtaining my own voice until I turned 50. And that was because we were on lockdown. We were on COVID. I couldn't leave. There was no one around. So it was just me. So who was I trying to impress? There was nobody. So I had to sit in who I was and start digging deep. And I did not like the things that I saw, because the layers of a person. And once you start.
A lot of people experience divorces, separation, physical, verbal abuse during COVID, unfortunately, because what we were hiding behind no longer existed.
Right.
Our busy schedules, gone.
Right.
Running the children here or there, gone.
Right.
So we literally had to face the people that we were dealing with day in and day out. Say, did I really marry him? Did I really marry her? Right. Are those my children? Is that
like, I don't even like those kids?
Is that my mom? Is that my dad?
Right.
COVID gave us an opportunity to really discover who we are.
Right.
COVID gave us an opportunity to face ourselves if we so desired to. Now, some of us may have chosen to get lost in social media. That was a distraction for us, because we like, do I really have to talk to him today? So we found other ways to distract ourselves. But yes, doing the work, it is not the easiest thing, Bunky, but if we truly desire to live a fulfilled life,
right,
we'll do the work.
Yeah, I'm working. I am working.
Of course you are.
I'm working. And you know what I've learned too, while you're doing the work, you lose a lot of people. A lot of people that were once in your circle are no longer in your circle, because they don't like the person that you are becoming, because you're becoming your true self.
You're no longer a convenience for them. You're no longer a resource for them as you used to be. You're no longer that board that they could just kind of tack things onto your board for you to do for them. You're no longer that. And you know what, Bunky? They didn't belong in your life in the first place. So
isn't that crazy? That's crazy. and that's family too, friends and family,
especially family, right?
Did that come off to you as another trauma? Because that's what it feels like to me. Like it's another loss because you're grieving
Yeah.
those relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple of years back, I had an epiphany. Well, actually, my abuser, I found out, abused others in our family.
Oh.
And this is what happened. This is what happens when we keep secrets.
Right.
So finding out that there were other girls in my family that were victimized, that brought me to my knees in tears. It literally brought me to my knees. I'll never forget it. A Saturday morning, got a call, and the young lady wanted to commit suicide. She's been carrying it for all these years.
Mm.
And she wanted to commit suicide. At that moment, I decided I'm no longer keeping quiet.
Right.
I gave my family notice. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this. Who like it? Oh, well. Who don't like it? Oh, well. Because the young lady said earlier, it's something that we don't talk about enough. The traumas that we experience within our families.
Right.
And because we keep their secrets, it allows them to traumatize somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. Family can be our biggest supporters, but at the same time, they can be the biggest weight around our necks if we allow them to be.
Yes.
They really can be.
Because you don't want to hurt them, but yet they're hurting you.
Exactly. So you're putting them up before you. So are you really that important to yourself when you're putting someone else's feelings above yours? Come on now. I love my mom to death, but you know what? If mama has been acting crazy all these years, am I going to continue to support her and her crazy?
Right.
What am I going to do here?
You got to call that thing out. You be like, you are doing too much.
Hello.
You got to
what
call
it
it
is.
So how were you able to help her? You told her, wait. Wow, man, are you open to suggestion? What kind of suggestion? I don't know.
What were you going to ask me, Bunky?
Well, I totally lost focus. This is why I normally don't engage during, because I like to stay focused and concentrating. Oh, the young lady. Did she know that you went through this with the same person, or she was just confided in you?
None of us knew. And it wasn't so much confiding in me, confided in another family member who shared it with me. There was a total.
Did this other family member know?
Not until I gave permission for it to be told. No. Everybody kept this person's secret. Everybody kept the secret, and he relied on that. As a predator, he relied on that secret being kept. Yes. And as a result, multiple young ladies in our family experienced the same trauma. This particular one, family member that was brought to my attention who wanted to commit suicide just felt so low about herself that she didn't want to be here anymore. Thank God she didn't, and she's getting some help now.
Right.
But when we keep secrets, when we keep our personal secrets because we don't want to offend anybody, we don't want people to look bad in our family, we don't want all of that, we don't want business. That's putting someone else before you.
Right.
Saying you're not important enough to feel good about yourself. You're not important enough for someone to recognize they have hurt you. Mm-hmm. You don't matter. And that's how I felt. I felt like I didn't matter because in my little eyes, my young eyes at that time, when you do something wrong, you're supposed to get in trouble. I did not see that. But no one came to me and talked to me about it either. I went and told.
Right.
Did I get the comforting? Was I told you didn't do anything wrong? No, I didn't get any of that. So can you imagine being 4 or 5 years old trying to process all this in your head and you having no one to talk to about that? I'm not the only one. So please don't make anyone think that no, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of us.
Right.
But my point, in the Black family particularly.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family. Don't say anything to anybody. And the thing is, the adults were keeping the secret. So the children were then keeping the secret, and then
Mhm.
children's children were keeping the secret. 3 generations of keeping the secret.
While the
Allowing,
predator is out there just doing his thing, like it's just okay.
absolutely. So with that being the case, when I got freedom from that thing,
Mhm.
Bunky. I had to get freedom from that, because when I found out that Saturday that others in the same family have been victimized, oh, that was it. It was on and popping. Then I said, that's it. That's it. I'm not keeping the secret anymore. Now I do have to move strategically and carefully, because I don't want anyone in my family to feel like they are out there to be victimized again by the world. So I am very careful about what I say.
Right.
However, speakers and pouring into women about pouring into themselves and doing the work.
Mhm.
I'm not a therapist, so I'm not a therapist. I'm not medically certified or anything, but I am a woman who has experienced traumas
Right.
and found a way through my faith and through my affirmations of recovering from those traumas, along with therapy now, because I've gone to therapy and go to therapy.
Right.
But with
Therapy is a
those,
big thing. It's a big thing.
exactly, it's a
Right.
huge thing, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not a therapist, but once we get to that point of I'm ready to do the work, I'm the woman for that job to help you with that. Because once we get to a point of saying, no more, that's enough, no more, I'm done with this. I want a life that I can be proud of. Because when we experience these traumas and we are blessed to get on the other side of these traumas, there are ashes that we want to just shake off and rebuild our lives to look the way that we want them to look, not the way our children wanted them to look, not the way our mama wanted it to look, or anybody. What do you want your life to look like? And that's what this book, Life Rediscovered, is all about. Me checking off the boxes. Am I speaking to myself well? Am I thinking about myself well? Am I allowing others the opportunity to treat me well? Meaning that I set my boundaries in place so that no one, absolutely no one, gets on the other side of these boundaries, because I know what I want out of life, and no one will breach that barrier. I didn't mean to get on my tangent, but that
No. Because somebody needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. So it's not like you were just speaking just to speak. No, it needed to be said.
Yes, thank you.
And the affirmations, it's something that it's a practice that you can have somebody that's been broken and going through stuff. After you've spoken to this young lady, and brought her back on the right side again, where she doesn't want to take her own life, letting her know now she's probably doing affirmations like, I am somebody, I am this and that and all of that. And that takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage.
It does.
It really does. And people don't realize how much work it is. And like I had said earlier, like affirmations to me in the beginning, like the color purple, like they were just words, Suge Avery made Celie look in that mirror and say these positive affirmations. For people that are younger, y'all had never seen the original color purple, not this new color purple, but the original.
Yeah,
Suge Avery made her do that. And I can totally feel Whoopi's pain by looking in that mirror and saying it. But apparently it hit her at the end, because
it did. And that's an experience that many women have, many people. I won't just restrict it to women, but I'm a woman, so that's the only perspective I can speak from. However, many people experience that they have an affirmation practice, they have a meditation practice, they have mantras, they have prayer, and between whatever components they have of their practices, one day it just hits them like, yeah, I am smart. Because I've been saying it to myself, I finally connect the dots and say, yes, I am beautiful. Yes, I am intelligent. Yes, I am deserving of love. Yes, I am stronger than any challenge I've ever experienced. Yes, I am. I am itself. Those two words by themselves is a declaration It is a declaration. You say, I am, and anything you put behind it, you're making a declaration. That's why I say we have to be careful how we talk to ourselves. Because when I say, oh, I'm so stupid, what? Hold on. Hold on. What are we saying here? Oh,
Right.
girl, I'm so lazy. Wait, hold on. What are we saying to ourselves? We have to be very careful of how we're speaking to ourselves, because even in our casual conversations, this conversation that you and I have, I suggested another word for you, because life and death lies in the power of the tongue.
Yes, it do.
How many of us have
Yes.
heard that in church and really we don't get it?
Right.
We're not getting what that is saying.
That tongue is a powerful thing.
The words you use
Yes.
speak life, right? Speak life into what you say. And that's not just your physicality. That's into what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Speak life about it. Now, you know when you're being jacked up now. Let's not be talking about stuff that we know when you're just being foul.
Right.
But when it comes to the reality of things, am I going to sit here and let these negative thoughts build a whole empire in my head, and then I'm going to speak to it? Wait, what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? Right?
Right.
So being
Totally.
careful about what we say and how we say it is hugely important.
Yes. I'm gonna start looking. Like, I only look in the mirror really when I'm doing my hair or when I'm getting dressed. I don't look in the mirror no other time. I don't mess around with the mirror. But I'm gonna start doing uncomfortable look in the mirror things. Before I even start talking, I have to do the look in the mirror thing. Like even with this show, right? I'm seeing us, but I am not looking at me. I'm always looking at the guests. I'm never looking at me.
I understand. I
So
understand.
I'm gonna have to work on that. I am going to do better. I'm gonna start my practice tonight. I'm gonna start it tonight. This 90-day, it's like a rehab, huh? At 90 days,
Mhm.
like a rehab.
That's a good word. It really is. And the
Okay.
master class that I have on the 16th really is just an introductory to tell us, to do a brief deep dive into the book. But I have a cohort coming up later that's going to
Okay.
be an absolute 90-day cohort that we will do later in the year. But the master class that's coming up on the 16th is an introductory session to tell you what's the best way to use this tool. And I saw the message that came across from Miss Leslie. I
Yes.
saw that. That was beautiful. And when you say you're going to start tonight, let me recommend just pick 3 affirmations.
Okay.
Just 3 that you want to pour into yourself. Don't overcomplicate it.
Now I was just gonna do one. I'm gonna be honest.
One is fine. One is fine. That's what you want to start with. I
Yes.
support you in doing so. And I challenge you, though. I challenge you to do it for 7 days straight. 7 days straight.
7 days straight. Look in the mirror.
Mhm.
Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror.
That would be good, but you don't have to do that. But
Okay,
yeah, that
all
would
right.
be good. Yeah.
Okay, because that mirror, that's Shirley's thing. All right, so just say I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Do it for 7 days. And anybody else that's listening in that are not already have an affirmation practice, I challenge you to create one affirmation, 1 or 3, affirmations for yourself,
Okay.
and challenge yourself to stand in front of the mirror and say those affirmations to yourself. Now, don't get in the mirror and pick yourself apart.
Yeah.
Get in the mirror and literally just look in your eyes. That's what I do. I just look in these eyes, because if I start, oh, look at this, look at that. That's not what we're doing here. We're here to look eye to eye to ourselves, state our affirmations, and do it slow. Don't rip through it. Don't rip through it. I'm beautiful. Out you go. No, we're not doing that. We're going to take our time. We're going to breathe easy.
Absolutely. Right.
And we're going to say our affirmation, and we're going to pause. And we're going to let that resonate in our head. If you feel the need, say it again. If not, just let it resonate. Before you leave the mirror, just continue to look at yourself and hear that over and over in your head. And when you feel like you're done, then leave. But don't rip through it, because you really need to sit with it.
Okay. All right. Wow, I can't believe time flew by so quick.
Oh, it has. Look at that.
Yeah. But listen. How can people connect with you? For everybody that maybe that just tuned in or whatever, March 16th, she has a master class. There is a master class. You can go to her page right here. the affirmationwhisper.com and sign up for it. She's also on Facebook and Instagram.
I am. I'm putting in the link in the chat now, Bunky, for the masterclass where they can go directly there to sign up.
Okay.
And you can put it out there if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can, when these things are coming up too, if you can just share them with me or send them to me. Okay. Oh Lord, okay, I copy this and copy. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the comments for the people.
Okay. That master class is it's going to be a three-hour session where we really come together and do an introductory dive into the class so that everyone can get an understanding of how to use it. As such, just 1 second, please. How to use it so that they can get kind of started on their own with using the book. Now, it is set for 90 days. It really is set for 90 days, back-to-back days. However, if someone finds that they don't have the time to do it every day, they can set their own pace to do the workbook, if they want to do it on their own. But literally, if they can just carve out a half hour is most that you need daily to do the steps that are in this book. And you know what? I can say to anyone who will follow what the book has to offer, you will rediscover something about yourself.
And you have to be honest.
Absolutely. Honest. Yes.
So don't just put stuff down.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be honest with this. Is there any final words you want to tell the people, closing remarks? Because I want to let you know that I am so thankful and grateful for you. I appreciate you so much. I do.
Thank you.
I needed this. I needed this. And I'm sure other people needed this conversation as well.
Yeah.
But do you have anything you want people to know? Anything coming up where people can catch you, stay in tune?
Yes. Yes, I have a Facebook page. I have my personal page, but I also have a group, the Affirmations in You Facebook group. You can find me there, request to join, and you'll be able to get affirmations on a weekly basis that I send out and emails. So that's Affirmations and You Facebook. I also can be found on Instagram, my first name and last name on Instagram. I can be found on TikTok, same thing, first name and last name. The affirmationwhisperer.com, that's my website. So you can go there to order any of my products, from candles to the children's affirmation book to the Life Rediscovered book. The link that Bunky put in the chat, you can sign up for my masterclass that's coming up on the 16th for Life Rediscovered. And the men's affirmation room, if there are any men here or women who have men that they love, we have a men's affirmation room coming up next week, Thursday, in Clubhouse. If you go to my social media, you will see the information there. I invite you to join us. Women, you can join too. We stay there to support the men, but men come, and it is one of the most amazing experiences to hear men affirm themselves. And when I say powerful,
wow, I can imagine. And what time is that? What time is that? The 7 a.m., 7:30?
7 a.m. next Thursday at 7 a.m. on Clubhouse app in the Mosaic Nation of Co-Elevators. And a lot of them are here tonight.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they do. The Mosaic Nation of Co-Elevators is a 7 a.m. next Thursday for men's affirmation room. So I can be found on all the socials, including Threads. I'm there. And I invite you to connect with me. If you're interested in getting your own affirmations, personalized affirmations, I am the woman to do that for you. It is not as scary as Bunky may have given you the impression. It really isn't. We really do have a good time, but it's real. We do go deep, but it's a good time. So you can book time with me for a consultation or order any of my products, the candles. I have t-shirts coming up soon, so you definitely want to connect with me so that you can get the opportunity to get the shirts when they first come out. Ms. Leslie says we roll deep and strong. We absolutely
yes, you guys do. You do. I have wanted you on, like everybody's there. I'm like, okay, you guys support each other.
Absolutely.
Dude, you guys are a true village. You guys are amazing. Well, like I said, I appreciate you. For
You're,
those
you're one of the family now too, Bunky. Whether you know it or not, you're one of the family too.
Okay. I mean, you guys never tell me no. I'll reach out to you like last minute. See, in my mind's eye, I always know that things happen for a reason, right? I didn't have a guest for this week. So Shirley was like, so I can get somebody for you. She's like, I'll see if she can do it. I just did this book party with that lovely suit. I love that suit she had on. Sure enough, she reached in my mind. I was like, I don't know what she's going to do. It's kind of late. Next thing I knew, boom, boom, boom. And here we go, because it was meant to happen.
Exactly.
It'd be so early, Leslie. I'd be that 7 o'clock. I'm trying to get my mindset into work. It'd be so early, but I'll pop in every now and again, but I'm not going to say anything. I'll sit in the corner.
Just join my Facebook community, Affirmations in You. You can start there so that you can get the weekly affirmations. Anybody that's listening, if you're not already a part of my Facebook group, it's called the Affirmations in You. You can request to get her into Mexico. You can request to join, and you would be able to see the affirmations that I post there weekly. If you join on my website, if you provide your contact information there, you will get weekly emails with affirmations and text messages. So plenty of ways to get affirmations on your own.
Okay, this sounds great. I'm going to sign up after this.
Wonderful.
So you wait a second. Don't go anywhere. You wait 1 minute, please. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for everybody that stayed and tuned in. This was an amazing conversation with an amazing woman, Miss Karon. I got your name now. I got you. You told me to say it. It makes sense to me.
Yes.
Fayerweather. All right. You got it. The Affirmation Whisperer, live here on Tea Time with Bunky. You guys, I appreciate you. Tune in next week. Next week, I believe it's a story. It's hopefully they didn't double book. I have the story of James Cooper. He's a young man that his mom is coming on. He was found hanging from a tree in Mississippi. It's a real. The story behind it is like really. I know I'm gonna need my tissues for this one. This one, you know, a mother. You know, what do? You know, that was her baby boy. He was 23 years old. He was only down there in Mississippi for 2 weeks when it happened. Only down there. So she's coming on trying to get his story out there, because until this, I didn't even know anything about James Cooper. I didn't know anything about him. And so you got to let these things be known. So that's next week. That's next week on Tea Time with Bunky, which is live on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You guys follow my YouTube. I'm trying to get my numbers up. And also this week, I'll send you the link. Miss Karon, for Zeno FM. You can listen to that Thursday. This episode next Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Download the app. There's a VGN, Village Global Network app. It's free, iOS and Android. Thursdays at 8 a.m. and Sunday at 12 p.m. And then I'm on Pandora, Stitcher, Spotify, Public Radio, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Cashbox, Amazon Music. That'll be up tonight, so you can listen to that. That's what you meant by not saying the affirmations fast. I knew, like, breathe, Bunky, breathe.
Yes.
So that I'll catch up with that. And tell your friend to tell a friend. Like, share, follow, and subscribe to Tea Time with Bunky, the place where you have the conversations, the enlightening conversations that your heart was probably longing for and you didn't even know it. So I appreciate you all. See you next week. Bye-bye. Be kind. Get out.